I love Bible metaphors because they open my eyes and my mind to a whole different perspective of God. In John 15 verse 1, Jesus said that He in fact is the vine and His Father is the gardener. That metaphor of gardener gives me a whole different view of God and the role of God in my life. I'm David Ireland. Welcome to Moments That Impact. I'm standing in this area where you can see in this beautiful garden that's behind me, but over here, this area is filled with weeds. Imagine our lives filled with weeds. Weeds represent crisis. Weeds represent dysfunctions, bad character, bad choices, bad behavior, bad decisions. Anything bad, that represents a weed in our lives. Now, if God is the gardener, His job is to work the soil of our lives so that the weeds can be plucked out. So when I think about the role of God, I have to allow God to work in me. Now, when weeds are starting to pop up in my life, bad character, bad speech, wrong words, whether there's lying, whether there's profanity, whether there's whatever type of thought pattern that's just not in concert with the scriptures, God's going to start to work on those weeds in my life, and I have to allow Him to work on it. Now, when God starts to work on the weeds in my life, He starts to till the ground. That is, He moves it around. If you notice over here, as I'm walking to this area where the nursery workers began to till this ground because they're getting ready to plant beautiful flowers here. So when your life gets all worked up in regards to the difficulty you're facing and your life is turned upside down, don't be alarmed. It may be the Holy Spirit at work plucking out the weeds of your life so He can plant beautiful flowers in those very areas. What I would suggest to you is two things. One, let God have His way in your life. The weeds need to come up. The weeds are not part of the garden. The weeds should not be acceptable. The weed was not designed to stay there. Weeds are meant to be removed. Second thing is this. You need to see how your garden is only going to look beautiful when flowers are growing there. So that means then, if you allow the weed of perhaps lying to be pulled up and the flower of honesty and truth to be planted, how much more beautiful will your life be? If you allow the weed of dysfunction to be uprooted in terms of character and lack of integrity to be uprooted by the Holy Spirit, and for character and virtuousness and credibility to be planted, imagine how beautiful your garden will be. I pray that you ask the Holy Spirit to keep plucking up weeds in your life, so indeed you may be that beautiful garden, because God is the gardener.